is a three-dimensional space. It is not a line. It is termed the deep front line, but it is the myofascial core, and it looks like this. So let's just all take this in. This is a decent diagram of the postural deep front core, I call it. Deep front line is what Thomas Myers calls it. This is in the back of the book. It's there. Everyone forgets about it for some reason or just skips it because it's maybe too much or too much to take in, I'm not sure. But basically, what happens with this system is you just come from the feet, and it's the flexors in the bottom of the foot. We're going to go into all of these parts and release them all now. This is what the whole thing today is about. We're doing the deep front line. So it starts in the feet, you go through the flexors, deep compartment in the lower leg, you come up across the knee, and it's the adductor magnus as your big, juicy, missing link. Okay, we're going to go into that. We'll focus on some techniques for each one of these. I'm just going to go through it first. Then you actually hit on the psoas as one of the most key compensated structures in the body and one of the most important parts of the deep front core, let's call it. And then also the most interesting thing with this diagram doesn't show is the deep front line or core actually is the transverse. Okay? Transverse abdominis, our key muscle or inner core. And it also is the diaphragm, and it also is the pelvic floor. Okay, so suddenly, in terms of like myofascial work, or in terms of functional movement work, we've been focusing on that the whole time, but then when we jump into therapy, or we jump into prepping the body or moving properly, we're ignoring it entirely. And this is a key thing for all of our brains in the room to kind of get apart, kind of accept, is this is actually the human. When this isn't working right, nothing can work right. The organs are in here. They're inside this myofascial sac. This is the human, okay? When you go up past where the diaphragm, transverse organs, pelvic floor is, and you jump into the actual spine, the deep front line is actually the cervical and thoracic bodies of the spine. It actually shoots up through the actual spine itself in terms of the actual spinal parts, okay? Not the cord, but the actual segments of the actual discs and so on. That is continuous with this line. And then when you get up into the neck and head, this is the most important thing about this entire super importance behind this myofascial core, is it is your temporalis muscles, it is your masseter muscles, it is your scalenes, it is your infra and suprahyoid muscles, okay? And these muscles, all in synergy, decide if your C1, C2 vertebrae are in alignment. Decide